God damn it, I hope I'm in frame. I hope I'm in focus. I hate it. Alright, so hey, if you like the video, please press that like button. That really helps me out a ton. And if you want to see more videos of that, can subscribe. And most crucial, if you are getting this gaming PC, please check out the links in the description. That really helps me out. You have no idea. So without wasting any further ado, let's just get to it. Now, let's get to some quick benchmarks. First up, you got Cyberpunk 2077 at 1440p ray tracing, ultra settings with everything set to ultra with some DLSS. You'll find yourself having 60 frames per second experience, which is crazy because everything is pretty much maxed out. Next up, you have Call of Duty Warzone 3, and this is a CPU intensive game, and you'll find yourself having around 144 to I believe 180 frames per second. It depends on the area that you're playing at. Next up, you got Fortnite performance mode, and at 1080p performance mode, you'll find yourself around 500-600 FPS. And the last game, which is Starfield at 1440p ultra settings, which was crazy since this is an AMD title, you'll have yourself having around 70 to 80 frames per second with everything set to ultra. So for the CPU, we're looking at the AMD Ryzen 5 7500F, and I have talked a lot about this CPU and why this is the best bang for buck CPU that you can get right now. This is the absolute best value for money CPU. This is a 6-core 12-threaded CPU based on the AM5 platform, and you have the upgrade path to something like our Ryzen 7800X3D. And on top of all that, it doesn't need an adequate cooling, doesn't need a beefy CPU cooler to get this cooled down. And it's for $140 to $150, depends on the time you're getting this CPU. Now, I really love this CPU. It's a great CPU. It's the best value for money CPU that you can get, even with the platform added to it. It's still the best value for money setup in general. So yeah, there isn't anything in the market right now that could beat this CPU when it comes to value for money. You can add this CPU to a $500 to $600 PC, all the way up to a $1,500 PC. The board, we're looking at Gigabyte B650M-K, and I love this board because it goes for $100 now. It got 4 RAM slots. You can do overclocking, you can do undervolting, and it will support 100% the next gen Ryzen CPUs, the 8000 and 9000 series, and all the CPUs to come, as long as they are supported by the AM5 platform. So yeah, it's got solid VRMs that will handle the next gen high power draw CPUs in general in the future, and if you decided to do overclocking, this will deliver too. As for the RAM, we're looking at 16 gigs to 8 GB sticks at DDR5 48 MHz. Now you can easily tune these RAMs to like 52 or 5600 MHz, and it will result in better performance and some CPU intensive games. So yeah, you're not missing out on anything there. Just to get the budget to $1,000. That's why we went with 16, not 32. And on top of all that, 16 gigs is still adequate for gaming as of today. The SSD, we're looking at a 512 GB M.2 SSD, and as you can tell, the SSD prices are actually high up in price now. Back at the day, like 6 months from now, the 32 GB SSD used to go for $35. I believe a 1 TB SSD, I mean. But again, we have done that just to get the whole PC within the budget. So yeah, if you want to go with 1 TB SSD, this will get you to like $1,100. So if you're okay to do so, you can actually. Now the GPU, and you know what it is, we're looking at the Zotac RTX 4070 Super. Now I have written in the video title, this is an RTX 4070 Ti, because the 4070 Ti is more searchable than the RTX 4070 Super. But given it the way it is, the RTX 4070 Super is the same GPU when you compare it to a 4070 Ti, and this is the best or the biggest feature when it comes to the GPU. The 4070 Ti is one of the most popular GPUs of 2023, and this is the same GPU. It provides the same performance. It even doesn't consume less power, for like $590, which is like $110 to $200 less when it comes to the cost that you're paying. And on top of all that, you are still having the NVIDIA features, which is DLSS 3, ray tracing, which is the most crucial thing, and CUDA acceleration. If you want to save more money, you can go with the AMD RX 7800 XT. If you don't care about ray tracing, I feel like this will provide you really good performance for the money in general. So yeah, but I'm more gravitating towards NVIDIA because I'm a content creator at the end of the day, and I need these extra FPS, and maybe I would want to play at ray tracing sometimes. So the fact that you can actually turn on ray tracing to ultra settings at 1080p or 1440p and still get that 60 FPS experience is crucial for a $1,000 PC, in my opinion. Now we had to actually cheap out, so we went with a case which is pretty cheap, a Cooler Master Q300L. That doesn't mean it's a bad case. It's got really good ventilation, really good airflow, cable management is okay, and the best thing is that it looks really modern for what you're paying. You're only paying $40. And the power supply, we're looking at a thermal take 650 watt 80 plus bronze rated power supply. Now as you can tell, this PC consumes power, of course, because we have a really high-end GPU for $600. But at the end of the day, this this power supply will handle it just fine, and this has got all the connections for that 12 pin PSU cable. So yeah, that's been it. If you like the video, press that like button. If you want to see more videos of that kind, subscribe and check out the links in the description. Again, as I told you, that really helps me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.